Have you ever wished you could turn back time? It's a question that has captivated the human imagination for centuries. We've all had those moments, wishing to undo a regrettable decision, longing to relive a fleeting moment of joy. The concept of manipulating time, of bending its relentless march to our will, is a fascination that's deeply embedded in our collective psyche. Imagine for a moment you had the ability to turn back time. What would you do? Meet John, a brilliant scientist who's been grappling with this question. John, with his unruly hair and glasses perpetually perched on the tip of his nose, is not your typical scientist. He was born with an insatiable curiosity and a mind that never quite fit into conventional boxes. This led him down a path of scientific discovery, where he's made his name in the world of quantum physics. His motivation? A deeply held belief that time, like the universe itself, is not linear but a vast ocean of possibilities. It's this belief that has fueled his quest to create a device that can manipulate time. He spent countless sleepless nights, his mind working over equations and theories, his hands tinkering with intricate pieces of technology. John's dedication is unwavering, his passion is contagious, his brilliance undeniable. Yet his journey is fraught with challenges, both scientific and ethical. John believes he's on the brink of a breakthrough, but what will he do if he succeeds? John has been working tirelessly on a device he calls the time twister. This isn't some haphazard project, but a labor of love and science, a device that potentially could turn the pages of time. But how, you may ask? Well, let's delve into the hypothetical science behind the time twister. Imagine time as a river flowing in one direction. The concept of the time twister is to swim against the current, to travel back up the river. This idea isn't as far-fetched as it sounds, thanks to the fascinating world of quantum physics. Quantum mechanics suggests that particles can exist in multiple places at once. And if we apply this to our perception of time, it could mean that our past, present, and future might be happening simultaneously. The time twister is designed to harness this concept, to manipulate the quantum state of particles and thus theoretically allowing us to revisit the past. It's like a boat that can navigate the river of time, upstream or downstream as we wish. But with such power comes great responsibility. The potential risks are enormous. Time is a delicate fabric, and any disturbance could cause unforeseen consequences. The butterfly effect, a concept from chaos theory, tells us that small changes can have large effects. So if we change something in the past, it could drastically alter the present or future. Yet the rewards could be equally vast. Imagine being able to correct past mistakes, to learn from history not just in theory but in practice. We could prevent tragedies or relive our most cherished moments. The possibilities are as limitless as time itself. John knows the stakes. He knows the risks and rewards. He's not just a dreamer, but a scientist, meticulously calculating every possibility, every potential outcome. His work is not just about turning back time, but about understanding the very fabric of our reality. After years of research and countless failures, John finally completes the time twister. With the time twister ready, John decides to test it out. Now, this isn't your run-of-the-mill experiment, it's uncharted territory, the exciting unknown. John's heart pounds like a drum as he prepares for the first ride on his time machine. There's a cocktail of emotions swirling inside him. Fear, hope, anticipation, uncertainty. He's about to do what was once only the stuff of science fiction, but now it's as real as the beat of his heart. John takes a deep breath, his fingers hovering over the device's controls. His mind races with hundreds of what-ifs. What if it doesn't work? What if it does? What if something goes wrong? But with each question, he pushes his doubts aside, focusing on the task at hand. It's time to defy the laws of nature. It's time to turn back time. As he activates the machine, a low hum fills the room. The hum grows louder. Then suddenly everything goes silent. For a moment, John fears his creation has failed, that his dream of time travel remains just that, a dream. But then he notices something. The second hand on his wristwatch is moving backwards. It's working. The time twister is actually working. But the test run is not without its hiccups. The machine jolts, and John feels a strange sensation, like he's being pulled from all directions. It's disorienting, overwhelming, but he's prepared for this. He knew the journey wouldn't be smooth. After all, he's venturing into the unknown, defying the very fabric of space and time. The jolting stops. John blinks, looking at his wristwatch. 1 minute. He has successfully turned back time by 1 minute. The overwhelming excitement of the moment engulfs him. He did it. He made the impossible possible. John successfully turns back time by 1 minute. But with this success, a new question arises. If he could turn back time by 1 minute, could he turn it back by an hour, a day, a year? The possibilities are endless, and with them, a new chapter of John's journey begins. With the power to change the past now in his hands, John must decide how to use it. This newfound ability to turn back time isn't as straightforward as it might seem. It's not just about having a second chance to correct mistakes or relive cherished moments. It's also about dealing with an ethical dilemma of enormous proportions. Let's consider the potential for misuse. John could theoretically alter events to his advantage, but at what cost to others? He could disrupt the natural course of events, creating a ripple effect that could impact countless lives. The temptation for personal gain could potentially overshadow the broader consequences. Then, there's the risk of altering history. Imagine changing a significant event in the past. It might seem like a noble act, like preventing a war or a disaster. But what if that event led to crucial developments or learning in society? Changing it could mean erasing those lessons, potentially leading us down a different path, perhaps even a worse one. Moreover, there's the moral responsibility that comes with such power. If you could prevent a tragedy, would it become your duty to do so? But then, where does one draw the line? How many tragedies should one prevent? And at what cost to the natural order of things? These ethical implications of time travel aren't just hypothetical. They are real concerns that John has to grapple with. He has to weigh his personal desires against the potential impact on the world. He has to consider if the benefits of changing a single moment are worth the risks of disrupting the course of history. This is a heavy burden for one person to bear. It's not just about navigating the past, but also about understanding the profound effect that each change could have on the present and the future. John realizes that the power to turn back time is a double-edged sword. Scene script. Faced with this dilemma, John makes a surprising decision. Here's the thing about John. He's a thinker, a dreamer, a tinkerer. He's the kind of man who sees a puzzle and can't help but solve it. But now, he's got the time twister, a device that can undo any mistake, any regret. It's powerful, it's tempting, but it's also incredibly dangerous. John holds the time twister in his hands, feeling the cold, metallic surface against his skin. He thinks about all the things he could change, all the wrongs he could right. But then he pauses. He thinks about the implications. He realizes the ripple effects his actions could have. He could change one thing, but who knows what else might shift in the process. And there's something else. John begins to understand something profound about time and our place in it. He realizes that every moment, every decision, every mistake is a stepping stone on the path of life. They shape us, mold us, guide us into the people we become. They're not just random events to be erased or altered at will. They're significant. They matter. This understanding hits John like a lightning bolt. He gazes at the time twister, but now, instead of seeing a tool of infinite potential, he sees a weapon of mass disruption. He realizes that wielding such power is not just unwise, it's unethical. It's a violation of the natural order of things. John considers the time twister once more, this time with a heavy heart. He's faced with a choice: to keep the device and potentially wreak havoc, or to destroy it and accept the natural flow of time. It's not an easy decision, but for John it's the only one that makes sense. And so, with a firm resolve, John sets out to dismantle the time twister. He takes it apart piece by piece, rendering it useless. As he does so, he feels a sense of relief wash over him. He's made the right choice. He's chosen the path of acceptance, of embracing life as it comes, of learning from mistakes rather than erasing them. John realizes that it's our mistakes and experiences that shape us, and decides to embrace the forward flow of time. In the end, he understands that time travel isn't about fixing the past, but about appreciating the present and looking forward to the future. After all, life is a journey, not a destination, and every step along the way is a part of who we are.